if you
Recording
if you've seen
podcast
it.
in progress.
Podcast in
They
progress.
talked
I
about
think
this. They talked about how the Zoom meetings, you can just upload to YouTube. Boom, there you go.
100%, 100%. And that's the thing I love. I mean, everyone has something to contribute when we talking about, in the format of podcasts. I love how Brandon Krieger explained the conflict resolution and his experience. So that I thought would be important to kind of expand on. With you, Daniel, I'm still kind of in process. There's so many things going on. So I'm still want to get back to our conversation about what is it, Soul-Link, EFT, and the role of mindfulness and your approach to these things. If you're still into this, of course, and
Yeah,
we can.
but first I'd like
Yeah.
to know, since I hit the record button, did you feel different?
Nah, man. What you see is what you get with me.
I
I
felt
don't,
something. I felt a little
hold back.
different. I was like, oh, I looked up and I saw recording. I was like, celebrity time.
It's a matter of habit, I suppose. I've done too
Oh,
many of these
okay.
before.
Well, yeah, if you remember back in the days, you see the record, it's like, wow. Now, yeah, now it's like nothing. So easy to record. I came from a media background. Let me tell you, back in the days, film, man, film costs so much. Like, I think in today's time, I would equivalent would be like $100 for a 5-second video clip with audio. And now you can just shoot them real quick, and now you got yourself a little short video.
Sure, those
It's
tools are
absurd.
all democratized. I mean, video production, it's still a tremendous business. It's not going to go away anywhere. In fact, it's growing rapidly.
Yeah.
Like video content, and like you said, content is extremely important. So the video production,
And all these
big money
nations,
there.
they're like you said, they're just getting a hold of smartphones in the last 5 years. And you know what they're doing? They're searching for content that's relatable to them, or just something they can learn about other countries.
Daniel, you said something important. They're searching for content. I think that's the thing. Once you get on Facebook, and I'll give you an example. In Asia, people don't use Google as much. Like they don't almost never use Google. And the reason for that is, imagine like you receive a phone right now, and on the phone, there's going to be certain application pre-installed. And here in Asia, there is, of course, there's Messenger, there's Facebook pre-installed. In fact, you can't even delete Facebook, right? So that's an intrusion in itself. I mean, YouTube, and there is the local messenger that's called Line. Now, when you go on Facebook and add your contact list or whatnot, you're finding your friends. This is where you're going to be searching for information. This is where you're going to be engaging. But the thing is, with Facebook, opposed to Google, Facebook spoon feeds you information. They aim is to feed you
Algorithms.
things before you even think about it. Exactly. When on Google, like you said, oh, people are searching for something. On the Google, you come and you have high intent search. Like you think something, then you put it in the search, and you might adjust the terms that you're using to find a more suitable information or whatnot. Google is normally very good about this. But the thing is, with Asia market, because I'm in digital marketing, so they don't even build websites. Website is just like, yeah, whatever, I have it now, I can be proud. People communicate mainly through Facebook and the messenger. So that's actually kind of a problem and an advantage in itself, because people are not normally searching for information. They kind of spoon fed the information. And that becomes a concern, because what you search for appears all the time. Whatever you click, whatever you scroll, whatever you stop at, it appears all the time. And you probably seen it yourself, like your wife's newsfeed will be probably different than your newsfeed.
Oh yeah.
So that is kind of a very interesting dilemma per se.
So in a spin of it, it would be beneficial to have a lot of niche content. So I think ads are going to get even more specific targeted, and the more nichey you are, I think it's so hard to lose.
Yeah.
Any
I mean,
content.
in your case, I again, you know much better the realtor business. And if you're talking about niching down, it seems to me if you break down the whole communication that happens between realtors and potential clients, it could be broken down to few components. So if you niche down in, let's say, prospecting, or actually the presentation, or actually the client relationship or client retention, or future collaborations, and how to structure it in a way, there could be a real opportunity there. It's like focus on a very, very specific things that realtors struggle with, not a general approach, but
Prospecting.
perhaps a very prospecting. Yeah.
Oh, that's always and the best prospecting system I heard is this guy or Scott Kanko talked about making it painless, and he would have you call like 50, he would have you make 50 phone calls, not to potential sellers or expired listings or for sale by owners. He would have you make 50 calls to an ad on Craigslist for a Bluetooth speaker. And you would just call because you're interested in the item. And that's it. Nothing. You didn't want anything, you didn't want the thing, you were not going to buy it. You were just calling to inquire about it. That's it. And then so what that would do, essentially, he explained it would remove your neediness that would come off on your voice to a potential person. They can tell, oh, he wants to list my house. Whereas when you practice no neediness and you get to call, it's just like, I don't even think I want to list it. I just want to talk about it. What happened? What went wrong? That's Chris Voss. Best question ever, right? Isn't that like when we do the hostage practice? I think that one hits me the hardest when somebody asks what went wrong, because then I start thinking about the morning time when I looked at my app and saw my account and this. It's just like, oh, and now that I'm explaining and talking, I'm obligated to reciprocate. Oh, what do you want? Oh, you want to come look at the house? Yeah, come over and look at the house. I like you for some reason. It's so much easier to work that way. And I hear the counterpart. I hear the opposite. Salespeople just banging people up, and always Rick Garrett's popular one, and it's always the same speech of, "Hey, did you watch that football game? Oh yeah, I saw the game. Yeah, what a crazy game, huh? Anyways, listen, I just sold, or a house just sold down the block from you. Wanted to know if you're looking to buy or sell." But it's still like it's just like, if that works, imagine what doing the counter of it. You can get burned out because that's not fun. That script is not fun at all. You'll burn out. I burned out. I couldn't do that shit because I don't want that phone call. Fuck out of here. When you call out of curiosity, just want to know what went wrong, and then maybe like a mechanic, you come over my house, and I open the hood for you, and you look, and you're like, yeah, that part right there. That's what happened. That's probably what did it. These pictures are horrible. No one's coming because of these photos. Oh, look at the curb appeal. Oh, look at this. I have a checklist. I have a checkpoint list, like 120 items that you should look at before you go on the market. It doesn't look like you got, that's probably why. Oh, well, it sounds like you know what you're doing. Why don't you put it on the market? Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a very good idea. And that's so painless because during the interaction, you can walk away and they can walk away, but they're kind of curious because you're not needy, and they're like, what the fuck's up with that? I'm curious now, and I'm genuinely curious. So then, we get to figure out, we're looking, do you want the orange peel, and you want the orange? And that's so much better than, I just want the whole orange.
Yeah.
Now, like,
Well,
yeah,
the thing is, no one wants to deal with needy person. No one does.
it's true. And it's one of the reasons that made Ekta really curious about this kind of approach, because I like her example of cosmetic ladies. She's turned down, she said, probably 1.25 for a year, 5 a year she turns down consistently. She just like, Mary Kay or whatever, but she's loyal to one woman, and she couldn't figure out for the longest why. she really liked her. You know, her style was very non-needy. She just didn't come off to her like that. Like she would almost not smile when she would come around, but it was just like, it just felt cool. And so that's really, I think that's really the key.
But that's the thing. I mean, Daniel, that's the reason why I started doing this sessions in NPC, first of all, is because people get stuck in this neediness, in this kind of I need something from you, or they're gonna feel, what's the word, disturbed by asking for a deal, or disturbed by asking, for questions. Like they're gonna feel the customers here and they're trying to get something from them. Well, maybe there's a neediness, it's just another dynamic in it. And it doesn't feel like a sales, it feels like a sort of a competition. You're competing for this business, and you have to get it, or you're gonna lose, or they're gonna lose. I mean, what I'm saying is that it's not coming from the position of collaboration, it's coming from the position of competition
and scarcity.
Scarcity, exactly. Scarcity. Is it scarcity or scarcity?
Scarcity.
Yeah.
I have trouble. I have bad pronunciation. I always tell my wife.
You do?
I'm like, tomato. You got the
English is
drift.
my third language. That actually brings me to the question of something I wanted to ask you. And you've seen me negotiate, you've seen some of the things. I'm openly doing this, not hiding anything. I'd really love to hear some feedback. I rarely get it these days, and it would be a tremendous help if it would be coming from you. What are some of the things that you notice that are kind of off-putting about the way I approach negotiations?
You want this on recorded?
Huh? Yeah, you can stop recording it.
You're fine. I mean, if you're fine with being recorded, I'll send it to you. You can do whatever you want, and I don't care if I'm up there on YouTube.
No, man. I mean, I would.
I need to subscribe and smash the like button.
I think it's not cool to put up recordings of people that do not wish to be on YouTube.
Oh, you should.
That's fine.
I really want to say that line. Subscribe and smash the like button.
Well, you have all the opportunities to do just that.
And then here's Eugene's feedback. That's going to hurt his feelings.
Okay, you're preparing to hurt my feelings. That's good. I'm preparing to be hurt.
I always do it. I mean, and it's just so nitpicky shit. Like, I don't even think it should be even part of like critique, because man, I do a lot of crap on practice and mock stat. I don't sometimes do in real life, because it's just that, it's the arena to practice some new stuff before, taking it to the big stakes. I will say what I do find when we're doing mocks, I kind of like makes me want to get more upset, and it's a kind of a good strategy, and I wonder if it's on purpose. Like a random smile. Sometimes you do like a random smile. I don't know if it's if I'm imagining it. Oh, that's when I said you're a nice guy.
Oh, you mean it feels like my smile is disingenuous?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a full frown. Sometimes only your lower will make the smile, but it won't be the entire face. And I guess that's what's cool about video mocks. And again, I could be imagining it if you watch your playbacks, but I don't know. I don't know why one day my subconscious that came to that attention of my subconscious, like, was that smile a real smile, or why?
Interesting. Yeah.
You ever heard of? No, I'm probably imagining it.
Well, thank you for giving this feedback, because it's interesting to see how I'm being perceived. No, Daniel, that's not a that's not a fake smile. I don't. Well, maybe it is, but I'm not conscious of it. Like, even if I'm smiling, I'm smiling. And when in this mocks, it's fun. Like, I'm preparing to have fun when I'm engaging other people in mocks. So sometimes it gets the worst out of me, because like I supposed to be serious, but I just cannot hold it. It's just it's just amusing. For me, it's very amusing. And especially when people take it too seriously, like way too seriously. It's just,
It's a tough balance
it is.
because what's worse than that is just being rigid.
Well, that's mostly what happens, rigidity.
So then I was just curious. I'm like, are the smiles strategic or are they genuine? Because sometimes I don't know. Is that
Well, let me put it
paranoia?
this way. Most of the things that I do, and we discussed it before, it's like a dance, right? This mock negotiation in real life too, it's like a dance, more or less. When I'm in my best self, I don't think about anything. There is no thoughts about strategies. There is no thoughts about tools.
Yeah,
Like, even
that's like a chess grandmaster right there. They're flowing. You're in flow.
yeah, I mean, when we're practicing specific tools like label maker, for example, a fire drills, that's the time to come up with certain strategies and play with those with different positions. But when it comes to mock negotiations, my whole goal is to make it flow. Is that what you described? Like, I want to get in the flow. And even when this mock negotiation, like, you're it seems like it's you saying I'm a nice guy, but using it against me. That's not something I thought of or strategized. It just came out naturally. Besides, most of the mock negotiation that I recorded, I'm not even aware of 80% of the things that I'm doing. Like, I'm not even remember what I'm saying. That's why this, when Ekta was like, you have to record this, you have to record this, like, what, about a year ago. I was like, oh, okay. So when I recorded and I watched myself doing it, it's like, oh, that's interesting. So that's what all these people are saying. So for me, it was very, very like revealing. Like, I could see it's just, for me, it was natural. But for a lot of people, they're like, oh, okay, he's using accusation noted. There is a label, there is a tie in here. That's not what I'm thinking about at all.
Did you watch the one with you and Vlad?
Actually, no, I would love to see that. You have it?
Ekta does. She showed it to me a
Okay.
while ago. It was
What is about it that make you bring it up?
you were trying to negotiate, persuade for Vlad to take on some kind of service for his company. I think
Life
training.
coaching, or was the
Yes, that sounds about. You were trying to get him to do life coaching, and he was a tough cookie.
okay?
I don't know. Your tone was very monotone. It's a tough one to sell coaching.
What
Eknel was not
what comes?
impressed. I was like, well, that's a tough one. I'm like clearly Vlad, I don't think he sounded like the ideal customer anyways.
Well, that's the thing, Daniel. I mean, what I remember from this conversation, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just shopping around for life coaches."
Mhm.
And from this moment, it was like first, I think, minute in the mock negotiation. From this moment, that conversation from that moment made no sense. It was, it's not going to go anywhere. So that's why I became monotone. Like, there is no future there. Like, he's
So then
shopping for something.
that's where I jump in with like my I guess with my twist of not twist, but with that whole fool and favorite part. Like, yeah, right there you felt you were gonna be the fool. And in practice, yeah, play with it, play with some of the tools, but you kind of know it's not gonna pan out. And so, but with real estate, it's like time is money, and do you want to entertain it? No, I like I say, most knock negotiations. I'm probably gonna end up walking away. Like, just because that's just how I use it in my day-to-day. It's the best strategy. You're better off walking away, and because that time you can take it and get more for it somewhere else. Easier customer, a bigger payout, faster payout. Link connection to other easier customers that have big payouts. Instead, I could have been stressing over peanuts.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so you mentioned a disingenuous smile. That's something that's
Maybe that comes out in situations where you feel you're the fool, and you're like, I'm gonna make the best of it because I just am. I'm gonna make lemonade out of this. Let's see how it tastes. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want fucking lemonade. If I already know, if I already smell it, I'm
yeah.
gonna do loss aversion. I'm gonna pretend I gave you some stuff, and I'm just gonna take it. Just want you to feel hurt.
It's very interesting with these mock things, and because it's recorded extensively, right? And at no point in time I claim to be a specialist, an expert, or advanced in any of this in this scenarios. Never ever. I think maybe it was maybe it came off from my side like this.
You know what it is? It's people get intrigued that, and so like right now, you have the cheat sheet, right? You've seen it, the summary cheat sheet, the one that I hand wrote, hand copied, and I put it in my binder and I look at it all the time. Okay, this is 12 pages, right? This is a lot. And so I don't think so. I'm not saying I have more memorized than you, but let's just say I do.
Oh, you do definitely.
Okay.
100%.
You have less memorized. And so what makes it impressive is that whatever you have memorized, when we get into the pool, into the mock, you're able to fully utilize. It's like somebody said it best when it comes to business. And even Bruce Lee said it. I'm more afraid of a man that can throw a straight punch really well, that has thrown it 50,000 times, than a man who's thrown 50,000 random punches and kicks and moves. Because man, that punch is going to be really like focused and well practiced. And so when we get into the practice stuff, you're able to stay calm through. We didn't know what you were doing. Turns out you were doing EFT. And so we're like, we're panicking. We're in the water. We're like, shit, we're just trying to survive, right? And then here's Eugene. He's like, oh, what would be a good label right now? Oh, what would be you just with the basics, and you're in control of your physiology. You're not tripping on your own feet. Where a lot of these people in the practice scenarios, yeah, they read up. Like when I first jumped in, I had read everything, and literally when I was in there, I think only thing I remember was geez, I don't even know what I remember what I was using in the water, but I gave up halfway because I'm like, dang it, I read all this stuff that I thought it would be ingrained. So then when I realized how crucial practice of the stuff is, and yeah, that's the only way it's going to become second nature. Other than that, is
well, you bring out an interesting point, and that's what I the reason why I'm practicing this is I see a lot of people reading books, master classes, like this book, that book, especially Acted. She's at the pinnacle of what I'm trying to convey. So much information, there's so much, and so little sort of a wisdom that comes with it. And wisdom meaning like you practice it, you tried it extensively, you know what it's going to lead, how it's going to land, and you had tremendous experience using this. Well, majority of people just coming from position of information. They memorize these things. They're good at dissecting other people's conversations. They're like, okay, this guy didn't do this. He's supposed to be doing that. That's what this book says. That's what this guy said. And he's so credible. He must be telling the truth. So bullshit.
and
Like,
I didn't feel a connection.
It is complete bullshit, because what works for one guy will be not suitable for someone else completely. Like, it's just not how it goes. And so I that's what I like about was and his teaching and podcast, the team that he assembled, whatever they speak from the position of experience, and you could sense the wisdom there. So it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I want to try that. It seems like it's going to fit in whatever I'm doing, and that's going to expand on what I'm doing already. But majority of people are just disconnected and disjointed. They're thinking like, oh, okay, so, I know how to, now I learned a lot about accusation audit. I never tried it before, but I can tell you like 2 books about accusation audit. That's just, yeah.
Yeah.
And when this kind of people come and start judging other people saying, well, that's not good, that's good. And it's like, okay, so it seems like you can illustrate it in a better way, like in mock negotiation scenarios. Let's do that. And when we do that, it's just like you said, everyone's stumbling, can't control the physiology, the voice is shaking. Yeah, so if you cannot do it in low stakes environment, what's good does this knowledge bring you or information bring you?
No, it's, what's the
But
point of,
what I admire about you, Daniel, I mean, you're applying it beautifully, and you do practice it every day with clients. You have a lot of stories to share, and that's what I like about what you're doing. And you're still practicing, you're craving for practice with other people that I'm seeing.
and I'm getting a lot of pushback.
You do?
Well,
What's the
you see the
pushback look like?
comments? Did you see the comments? Oh, this seems kind of pushy. Oh, this seems kind of aggressive. Oh, this feels kind of this and that. And I'm like, all right, thanks. I'll implement your feedback. Oh no, one person's like, oh, I don't like it. I was like, thank you. I'll implement your feedback. And there was no feed other than it feels pushy and whatever. And so then I went and started with an accusation. Sorry if this feels pushy.
Yeah, and that's,
but no one's
Daniel,
offering
again, that
real
looks weird.
Other than
Looks weird to me because it's not you. I know that it's not you. I think you better personally, like it's may sound like an unwanted advice. Stick to what you're doing. Stick the way you are, Daniel. There's always going to be haters and idiots and whatnot. Just whenever you're saying it may feel pushy, it's just it for me personally. It's like it's not Daniel speaking. It's just you're trying to please people.
trying to use the tools.
Yeah.
See how it feels. Yeah, and that's where's the best place to get the feedback from. People are familiar with it, so it's almost like a comedic approach of you didn't like this, although it's utilizing the framework of what you're using or you want to learn and use, and here it is being used. Well, I don't like it. Well, then maybe you're studying the wrong thing. That's what it kind of looks like. And I'm going to go in there and shorten it more. But that's the components of I think a copyright will look like. And yeah, it still catches shit even from a group that's using NTCSD. Yeah, this stuff feels foreign, and when it's very blatant like that, it does feel odd, and I like that. Good. It's causing feelings, and I think that's what real copywriting should do. And that's why it's important to focus on the 7 deadly sins if you do any copywriting. Like the easy. Oh, geez, I mean, you can't make it any easier than putting a Calendly link on there. You can't make scheduling any more easy than that. Like, it is really a limited time. I'm not going to be offering. My time is really money. I can't. But the practice I get right now, it's valuable. So I want to suck in as many as possible.
Well, that's actually the reason I tried different posts in this group with different format. I tried to mix the copywriting there. If you actually follow before I remove this, just a simple questions, 2-line questions to see if people are going to respond and come to the sessions that I provided for free. The copywriting things, it works. It attracted quite a bit of people, and some people got offended. You may have seen some of the comments. One guy's like, I'm sick of your self-serving, something like self-serving attitude here. And the two guys, I think Douglas and Alberto, kind of chimed in my defense, which was very admirable on their side, but they didn't have to do it at all, and try to defend my position. And then another guy is like, "Oh, you seem like a coach. Seems like you're gonna sell something there." Okay, fair enough. But what it ended up happened is that they reported me to admin. What's the
What?
name? Cody. Yeah. So Cody sent me a message saying like, it seems like you're spamming the group and selling the services here. And I was like, well, dude, you probably have a good reason of saying that. So what is it? What is it about I'm offering that ticks you off? And he's like, I don't have time for this. I said, well, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm doing right by you and the group. So please point me out to the things that I'm doing wrong, so we don't have this conversation in the future. So that's it. That's where it's ended at that stage. So it kind of left a bitter aftertaste in my mouth. Honestly, like I think I'm not sure if whatever I put out there, it actually makes sense to put out, and if people appreciate what I'm trying to convey there. So I'm kind of at the point right now, should I continue doing this? Even the CFT stuff, like when we come to the sessions, like I see people are not having fun there, and we discussed it in private during the sessions. So it's like, okay, well, maybe I could try help them out by doing the CFT practice. So we've done it once. We had this great session. I think you've been a part of it too, when Nicola was having basically a blast, and that was really amusing. Like it never ceases to amaze me when people get into the relaxed state of mind and then practice it. It's like this. Like I've seen Vlad. I haven't seen him for a while now, but he's always would come to this kind of attitude, blah blah blah.
He's been more cheerful.
Yeah, and we've done this EFT with him, and the shift was completely 180%. Like I never seen him joke, and he was joking. So okay, like I've done it once, I've done it 2 times on this past few weeks, but then I was like, yeah, this doesn't even make sense.
I'm gonna say
This doesn't even
something
make sense to go ahead.
mind blowing here.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, I had my tarot cards read by a legit lady who I know for a fact that's called people and said, you're pregnant. They're like, no, I'm not. They go pee on a stick. Oh my gosh, I am grandma. So this lady read my cards and said 3 things. In my future, I'm gonna be really, really wealthy. In my present time, I'm lucky. In my past, I'm hung up on my ex. That didn't go well with the girl I was dating at the time, but I don't give a fuck. Like, what about the other 2? Like, all right, luck. Like, I guess I'm grateful that I have luck on my side. And I'm like, is that why I'm going to be wealthy? Because I'm lucky? But then I read that luck comes to those that put in the effort, right? And then so now since then, this was like 5 years ago, I always felt like I should have a camera on me. So I got to see the tripod there. I always try to get footage of me, of when I was like obese and down on my luck per se, and show what things I'm using to climb back up. And this is it. Like this, in the last 2 years with this stuff, this is it. This is the real deal. And so, like, I just want that to like rub more off on people. And so that's why I did the post. But then now, like, after observing, I doing Uber rides and asking this silly question of wealth, health, love, fame, what you pick. People always want love. People always want health. And I'm like, what? No one's picking. I would pick wealth, then I would pick health, and I'm sure I can find love, and then fame. Like, why is the wealth being rated so low? That doesn't sound right. And then when I do that post, and I see the haters, right? Let's call them the haters, and then you got people that are being positive, like Alberto and someone else. If you look at those people that are being positive, they're doing pretty good in life. Like Alberto does pretty damn good. So I wonder, the ones that are being skeptic, even though they've read the book, even though they know what the FBI does, lives were lost building this stuff, they see its really potential to like quantum leap your life. They're still like those ones, they're the ones that are just people that want to stay poor. and there's nothing you can do about it to stop them. And then they're gonna cry victim. And that shit just I don't want to say irritates me. I mean, I'm glad there's people out there. I'm grateful there's folks out there that are willing to stay poor. They really are. They're willing to.
The thing is with people who exhibit this kind of dynamic, skeptics, dismissive, judgmental, it is really a state of mind. It's not something that they choose, it's something that they have. And it all stems from, like, if you think about fear and anxiety, that's not actually the lowest level. The lowest level would be, the lower level would be apathy, so despair, guilt, and at the very bottom is a shame.
And fear. Fear that it
Fear
might work.
is actually, fear, yes, fear. And then after fear, what you have, after fear, you have anger. That's actually a step above. And after anger, you have pride. So
Adrian,
there is this kind of, yeah.
can you give me like 5 minutes?
Yeah, okay. Hello, Jenny.